Hello, guys. Welcome to round 9 of Sinquefield Cup 2016. We have really exciting games tonight. We have 2 decisive games and 3 games finished draw. So I will read first the results of the round 9. Nakamura Ding Liren 1-0. So Nakamura win that game in a great, very open and sharp game. Second game was Widler-Run, and that game was pretty much peaceable and equal game. Then Vasily Grev make a draw with the Wesley Saw, and of course Wesley Saw was a winner of this tournament, and he played also very safety, and he didn't want to lose because he was black pieces, of course. Topalov against Aronian, that game was just finished few minutes ago, and that game was unbelievable, completely winning for Topalov few times, a couple times in a rook endgames, but Topalov couldn't manage to win. So basically that game finished draw. And the last decisive game was Caruana Giri. Caruana won that game in a very sharp open style. So basically we have the winner of the tournament. That was a Wesley Saw, 5.5 points from 9 rounds plus 2. $75,000 for first place, very nice money price, and very great results for 22 years old American player. Now he's American because he was moved from Philippines to United States. Second to sixth place share 4 players. That was Vishwanathan Anand, Levon Aronian, Fabiano Caruana, and Veselin Topalov. Unfortunately, Veselin Topalov, if managed to win today against Aronian, tomorrow he will play playoff with for the first place against Wesley Saw, but unfortunately that's not happened. 7 to 8 place with a 4.5 points. That was Vasily Grev and Hikaru Nakamura. Nakamura make solid results on this tournament. He just win a last game, and that was very good for him. Then Ding Liren 4 points, Swidler 3.5, and the last place was Anish Giri, who played last year tournament very solid in this Sinquefield Cup. So let's go with the game Topalov Giri. That game was very exciting, and I want to show you that game first. So it was Ruy Lopez, Berlin variation, but this time Topalov didn't want to go to castle, 94, drawish line. He go d3, he want to play chess, he want to keep the queens on the board, bishop c5, c3, d5. Okay, this move is not so often, right? In this position, black usually play d6 here, but d5 play in a couple games. Now he took on d5, Topalov took, queen d5, and bishop c4, queen d6. So basically, couple grandmasters played this position, and one of the most popular game was between young grandmaster from United States, Sevian, against Hovhan Sian in Martuni 2015, last year. And in that game, white Topalov played here queen e2. That was a new move, but basically b4 was playing that game. And after bishop b6, Sevian played bishop a3. Idea is to disturb the queen and possible castle for the black. But after move e4, b5, bishop c5, the game was completely equal. That game Sevian I think won, but position was actually nothing special for white. Okay, so we came back to the main game and main position, and Topalov go queen e2, castle. We have objectively equal position. White fight for a square e4. That was the reason why he go knight g5, bishop f5, knight e4. Of course, black try to play something like this and a little make a pressure on the pawn d3, but now he goes knight e4, knight e4, bishop e4, d takes e4, knight d8, maneuver knight e6, Topalov play bishop d2, Aronian goes c6, a4, knight e6, rook d1, queen e7, g3, rook d8. We can say here the position is equal. White really don't have anything special here. Rook d7, bishop c1, rook d8, rook d7. Here, the first moment I was very surprised why Aronian didn't take on d file and completely stop any idea of this move. But white can play, of course, bishop b3 and then rook d1. So I think queen d7 was slightly better move. But okay, he played rook d7 and now king g2. This is really nothing much for white, and position is very equal actually. g6, okay. Bishop h6. Topalov tried to disturb the back rank. Later, if he could trade the rooks, and maybe the king could have some problems, but this is just a temporary idea. Of course, nothing special. And now queen g4. Okay, rook d8, bishop e6, queen e6. Even this position looked like slightly better for white because black have a double pawns on the e file. Black is super active. His rook cannot go on d2, but rook stay very impressive on the d file. And of course, the bishop making a pressure, and he stay very active too. So we can still say that this position is equal. So king f3, Topalov tried to improve his king. Now king f7, king e2, rook d7, h4, bishop f8, bishop e3, bishop e7, rook b1. Now, of course, idea is b4. c5, g4. Okay, here was one trick, right? If eventually he take a pawn, will be simply this, and the bishop will be trapped. So that was not good. So he played h5, g takes h5, g takes h5, rook g1, rook h1. Okay, so here we have something what look like slightly better for white, but I think this is still okay for black. Rook g8, rook f3 check, king e8, rook g3, king f7, king d3. Of course, rook g3 will be very bad for black because this endgame is totally losing for black. So this will be very bad if black will trade the rooks. Of course, he played b6, king c4, bishop h4, rook h3, bishop g5, bishop g5, rook h5, rook g5, king b5. Okay, this is move 41. This is move 41. He go rook g2, check. Rook f3 check, king e7, king b6, rook g8. Okay, this is first critical moment of the game where I think black simply Topalov play rook h3, but engine shows king a5 like decisive winning move. For example, what was the point of that move? If black play rook b8, for instance, white can go here, and now if black play check, king c5, rook b2, rook h3, rook a2, king b5, check. Rook check, king c4, and king b3. and white is simply winning this endgame, because if you take here, I can just take on h5, or just play a5. So this endgame was winning. This was winning, and definitely this is something what Topalov should play. So in this position, this is the first moment what he missed. Definitely king a5 was a winning move. So he go rook h3, c4, rook h5, check, king c6, rook b2, rook c2, rook a5, rook c3. Till to this moment, Topalov played very precise and very good. This okay, he missed king a5 in a move 44, but this is still winning for white. Rook c2, king b5, and now we have another critical moment. Another critical moment. And rook back. Aronian, I must say, Aronian play, this is the best. I mean, this is the best defense, and Aronian show on this tournament the great technique in a verse rook endgames. A few rounds ago, he also make in some games very good rook endgames. So basically, okay, here a5. This was a critical moment when after this check. Always dilemma with the king, where to go with the check. Of course, commentator showed this like easy winning, king c3. Why this move is winning? Very simply, this endgame is winning because the king is cut from the c file. So if black going here, I can go here, and if black blocking the pawn, now I can go here, here, and this move. This is a tempo move. And very important move, because I'm threatened now rook c1 and king b5. So what black can do? Black can play this move. So just like I said, if he play king d6 here, just king b5. So rook a8, a6, and this is winning endgame, because simply you can't take on a7, because I can go king c5 and king d6, and this is completely winning rook pawn endgame. So basically, in this position, after check, king c3 was another winning move. King a3, rook a8. Topalov still have a great chance to back position and after check go to the winning line, but he didn't do that. He played this move. And after this move, he still have a chance for this move and this move, but unfortunately he played check. And after this move, the game is just a draw. The game is just a draw, and I mean, simply Topalov cannot win anymore. So I can show you this quickly, the rest, because this is just, of course, Topalov tries some tricks here. For example, one of the important tricks here was king d2 was a losing move, because a7 and king c4 and white is winning. So basically, of course, Aronian know that this is very basic endgame, rook versus pawn. So this is actually what I teach my students, kids, in the lessons. So a7, rook b7, king c6. Rook a7, rook a7, e4, rook a4. Topalov tried to go to the position rook versus knight. And now, of course, the last trick was if black will go queen, that will be checkmate. Of course, Aronian make a knight. And now, what is important for this endgame? This is theoretically draw. But of course, black have to know some things about this position. So most important things for this endgame is to keep the king, keep the knight close to the king. If knight goes somewhere far away of the king, then a rook and the king have chance to hunting the knight. and cut the knight of the king and win a game. But that was not impossible in this case because Aronian just keep his knight behind king, and we have a theoretical draw. Yeah, this is just a draw. Okay, so unfortunately Topalov didn't win this game. Will be totally different final ranking, and tomorrow will be playoff between Topalov and Wesley. Unfortunately, that not happened. Unfortunately for Topalov, and happy for Wesley. Wesley was a winner of Sinquefield Cup for 2016. So let's go to the second decisive game, and that was a game between Nakamura and Ding Liren. Okay, so that game was very sharp. Nakamura lost yesterday, and he was very angry, probably, and he played to win this game. And of course, this is absolutely. Absolutely, I can say this is the game of the most sharp game. So this is a Botvinnik variation, very sharp line where black accept that pawn, but white gaining a great space in the center. And okay, this was all these moves was theoretic, of course, and I will show you the first moment what I think was important for this line, and that was a moment when Nakamura play move queen c1. Obviously, white have a great compensation for the pawn. I mean, black is very weak on the dark squares, and he still is not so sure about his king castle. Did he want to go long on the short side? So, of course, if black can hold that pawn and save the king, later he can be winning in endgame. But that's not happened. Okay, this was all theory, actually. This position was seen before. And in this moment, Nakamura play new move, queen c1. But this position was played before between two Russian grandmasters, Tregubov and Motilev, in Krasnoyarsk 2007. And in that game, white played castle instead of queen c1. And after h5, white going with the rook e1, bishop g7, and great move d5. After that move, black make mistake and go in castle, and after d6, white make a very big advantage, and he won that game later. So what was better for black? Better was this, and now castle, That was probably close to equal. And this is maybe what I don't know. Maybe this is something what Nakamura didn't want to play, because he knew Ding Liren was very well theoretically prepared, and maybe he knows that game, Tregubov and Motilev. So what usually grandmaster doing in that case, he want to make him, before he want to surprise him with the new move, then his opponent can surprise him. So basically, after queen c1, rook g8, castle, knight h5, we have actually the same position. I mean the same idea what Tregubov play against Motilev, the d5 move. And this game, this time with the more glory, I can say. But this is another critical moment. Ding Liren now took that pawn. This move is probably the reason why he lost the game. So here was definitely better to take on d5, and took that bishop. Okay, after rook e1, position is still better for Nakamura, but this is definitely playable for black. But white is better. So I mean, this not happened, but this is probably what Ding Liren should play. Unfortunately, he go queen h4, and now g3, and now we have Great move, knight d5. After this move, game just collapsed because white simply threats bishop queen c8. So e takes d5, queen c8, king e7, rook a6, knight g3, bishop b5. Of course, this will be mistake to accept that knight will be perpetual check here for black. So white simply took on b5 and after check, he just accept that bishop. He play f6, and now after this move, he just resigned. Why he resigned? Because simply, for example, if black played this move, queen c7, bishop e7, and just b8 equal queen. So that was Nakamura was wake up in the end of the tournament. He won a game. So probably if this tournament will be 11 or 12 rounds, he can make better results than his 50 percentage. Okay, we can go now to next decisive game. That was Caruana against Giri, and that game we can go. It's a 46 moves. And we can go quickly that game. Okay, Nakamura, we look Nakamura doing little Washile Grev, Wesley, so I want to show you that game too, guys. So Caruana played his favorite move e4. He played also d4, but most of the time he likes this. So we have another Ruy Lopez, but this time is not Berlin. This time is open variation in Ruy Lopez. This line was very popular in one of the matches for the World Chess Championship between Anatoly Karpov and Viktor Korchnoi. Korchnoi played with black pieces a lot of this, and he was one of the greatest experts for this line. So the idea of d takes e5 is to making a pressure on d5 and basically bringing the rook on d1 and making a pressure on d5. So all these moves are theoretically, and I can say queen e2, rook d1 is a Smyslov variation. So bishop e7, knight c3, castle, bishop e3, queen d7, and this is the first moment of the game, h3. Actually, this was already played before. This is novelty, new move, new idea. In a game, Andrei Sokolov and Marin, Romanian Grandmaster in Manila, 1990s, white was played rook d2, rook d8, rook a d1, rook f e8, h3, f6, knight e5, and this game was slightly better for white, but finished with a draw. So, what is the point of this move? Basically, I think the Caruana stole an idea. Actually, he didn't stole. He just used idea of Andrei Sokolov, and he played h3. H3 is normal prophylactic move in all openings, I can say, with white. So, with the e4. So, okay. So this is what happened, and this is what I don't like what black was doing. This is the moment, right? And he took, and now he sacrificed queen. He sacrificed queen for two rooks. It's looked like okay, but I think this endgame, in my opinion, is better to play for black than to play endgame with the queen against two rooks. What actually happened in a game with a lot of weakness of the pawns. That's the problem. That's the problem. And simply after this move, white is simply better. White is simply better, and Giri have a lot of problems. A lot of problems. Caruana show up a great technique. He really show up great technique. Check. Nothing nothing black cannot make better here, right? Nothing. Here was a moment in 29 to take on b3 instead of e4. I was looking that position, but after check, king g8 and g4, White simply winning because he threats g5 and g6 and queen h7, queen h8. So white just simply make decisive attack on the king side. So rook b3 was really nothing special, and that's why he played e4. But Caruana just simply take a pawn, now back. He pick up all these pawns, and now we have a position. Of course, rook b3 in this moment was not good because simply queen e6, a geometric check, and black lost the rook. So he tries c4, but now he just take another. And of course, if this position will be with the 2 pawns, let's say on h7 and f7 for black, this will be totally draw. But maybe even black will be slightly better. But with the 2 pawn less, this is just a nightmare for black. And Caruana, of course, win this game pretty much easy, because queen and the 3 pawns against 1 pawn is just a winning. Just a winning. And this is the reason when Giri give up, because he can't stop the pawn. So this was a very important win game in the last round, and Caruana make final decisive result, final decisive winning game, and he shares second to 6th place, and what actually is a great result for him. Okay, the final game which I want to show you guys is a game between winner of the tournament. So basically game was pretty much boring. Nothing dramatically happened in this game. But I want to show you the sequence of the game, because I think Wesley deserved to show his last game, and of course this is he was a winner of tournament, and he's a winner of tournament actually. So it's logical to look at that game. So Berlin. And here, instead of Topalov, when Topalov played d3 in his game against Aronian today, Vasily Grev go with the castle, and he go with the main line. So now we have a main line of the game. Okay, this line is very popular between grandmasters. So Fischer played before here queen e2 and rook d1. He didn't like to trade the queen. So this is one of the idea which I like it for white. But okay, queen d8, this is very fashion nowadays, and a lot of grandmasters play this line. Okay, this is really boring, and white and black practically nothing happened here. Dramatically happened. Just trade the queens and play a boring endgame where actually black have a bishop pair, and white have this majority on the king side. White have slightly better pawn structure, actually a lot of better pawn structure, but black have 2 good bishops. And the little problem of the black position is communication of these rooks. But black, in 1,000 games, in hundreds games, I can say, grandmaster games show very quickly, very clear how black can equalize this. And this is one of the move, bishop e7. Now if he takes, king takes, and we have totally equal position. So white played b3. Just like I said, nothing happened. This was played many times before, and this is the moment, rook d8. Okay, in game Alshina Glud in Sabadell 2011 was played rook fd1. Vasily Grev played new move here. He just traded the rooks. So what's happened in that game? What's happened this? Rook d3, h4, bishop e7, king e7, and just like I said, nothing happened. This is totally equal. So basically nothing happened in that game, and Vasily Grev play with a new move. He tried new move. Okay. But Wesley played really, really solid this game today. In any of moment of the game, I didn't find any errors, any little momentum of the game where actually Wesley means. Okay, here was possible to play f4 instead of instead of knight 96. But black can play that move. So I mean, it's really boring. And okay, this just happened, and now Wesley just hold that idea, because white only idea is to play g4 and f5. That was only idea for the Vasily graph. And now Wesley activate his rook, and this is great move. Now his rook can go here, disturb the a pawn, maybe disturb the h pawn, and black have enough active compensation for the equality, to equalize position. And of course, this is only idea what white can do, because he have majority on the king side, and this is very logical. White try to exploit the extra pawn, pass pawn. Knight looks bad on h4, but actually no, because this is one of the exemplary in modern games when Nimzowitsch like to say always, knight is a rim on the dim, but basically knight on h4 in many positions stay bad because he don't control so many squares. But here, knight on h4 stay really good. And now rook a2. Check. Takes check, rook e2. And now we see actually this. The a pawn is dangerous, and white can only keep a draw here. No, he can't do anything. Wesley play knight f3. Of course, now that knight could be very strong piece here. King e4 was not good, because in that case a3 a2 will be this pawn is dangerous, and white have to keep him on his eye. So he play king f7, takes knight e5. Wesley first take on e5, and now he play this knight e3. Okay, this was a last trick in the game. If white takes, just a2 and a1. Of course, Vasily grabs see that, and he play king b3, knight c5, king a3. And now we have a basic, totally drawish game. Just a few more moves. Excellent move. Okay, here was of course idea to play that, but black can play then this and just king g5, and this is also a draw. So it's I mean this move just forced the actually draw after c6. So okay, king g5, and now we have the winner of the tournament, actually king versus knight. So the West Topalov couldn't manage his totally winning game today, unfortunately, and he missed to fight in a playoff for the first place in tomorrow tournament in Sinquefield Cup. So we have a final ranking where actually the winner of Sinquefield Cup 2016 is actually the Grandmaster Wesley So, 22 years old Grandmaster, which played now for United States. Second place on this tournament share 4 players, and that was Vishwanathan Anand, Levon Aronian, Fabiano Caruana, and Veselin Topalov. 5 points, 4.5. Vasily Grev Nakamura, 4 points. Dingliren, Svidler, 3.5 points, and last place, 3 points. Anish Giri. Somebody must be last place. This time was Giri. He was unbelievable strong player, and he usually losing very small number of the games in one year, but on this tournament he lost I think so many games, and he probably have to change something with in his strategy of his next tournament. So guys, that will be all enough for the Sinquefield Cup 2016. The winner is Wesley So, 22 years old, Grandmaster from United States. Thank you all watching this comment, and see you soon in some other tournament live broadcast on ICC. Thank you all.